My family always said I was the responsible one, the one they could count on. I guess they were right, but not in the way they expected. This whole nightmare started a year ago when my sister, let's call her Chloe, got engaged. I was genuinely happy for her. We weren't super close, but she's my sister, and I wanted her to have the wedding of her dreams. My parents pulled me aside one evening, looking unusually serious. They explained that they wanted to give Chloe the perfect day, but their savings were tight. They asked if I could help out. They didn't just ask for a small loan. They asked me to foot the bill for the entire wedding. We're talking venue, catering, dress, everything. The estimated cost was a staggering $50,000. I had been saving diligently for years. My dream was to put a down payment on a house. $50,000 was almost my entire life savings. I hesitated, explaining my own financial goals, but my mum started crying, saying how much this would mean to the family, how it would be my gift to Chloe, and how they would be forever grateful. My dad promised they'd pay me back slowly, over time. They really laid the guilt on thick. "We're family," they said. "Family helps each other." Against my better judgment, I caved. I told them I would do it, but I made it clear this was a huge sacrifice. They hugged me, called me their hero, and promised I wouldn't regret it. Oh, how wrong they were. Over the next few months, my bank account started to drain at an alarming rate. It was one expense after another. A designer dress for Chloe that cost more than my car. A lavish, top-tier venue with a guest list that seemed to grow every week. Exotic flowers, a gourmet multi-course meal, a live band. Every time a new bill came up, my parents would call me. "Just this one last thing," they'd say. I felt like a human ATM. Chloe herself barely spoke to me during this time. When she did, it was usually to complain that something wasn't premium enough. She wanted a more expensive photographer or a more extravagant cake. Each time, I'd get a follow-up call from my mum, pressuring me to approve the extra cost. "We can't disappoint the bride," she'd chirp. I tried to be involved in the planning. I thought if I was paying for it, I should at least have some say. But every suggestion I made was shot down. I suggested a more affordable DJ instead of a live band. Chloe scoffed and called my taste cheap. I proposed a buffet to cut down on catering costs. My mom said that was tacky for such a special occasion. I was just the wallet, not a part of the family planning the event. The most painful part was that my parents enabled her behavior. They treated her like a princess and me like the court jester who just happened to hold the purse strings. My own dream of buying a house felt more and more distant with every swipe of my card. I was becoming resentful, but I kept telling myself to hold on. After the wedding, it would all be over. The invitations went out, and I was excited to finally see my name on one. I had paid for them, after all. But my invitation never arrived. I called my mom, trying to keep my voice calm. "Hey, Mom, just wondering if the invitations were sent. I haven't gotten mine yet." There was a long, awkward pause on the other end of the line. "Oh, honey," she said, her voice dripping with fake sympathy. "About that. We need to talk." My heart sank. She explained that Chloe's future mother-in-law had a very large family, and they were running out of seats at the venue. "So," she continued, "Chloe decided it would be best if you, well, didn't come." I was speechless. I couldn't process what I was hearing. "You're kicking me out of the wedding I'm paying for." My voice started to shake with a mixture of anger and disbelief. My mom tried to smooth it over. "It's not like that. You don't have a +1, and it's just easier to make room this way. You understand, right? It's Chloe's big day." I hung up the phone. I couldn't even form a response. I sat there in stunned silence for what felt like an hour. All the sacrifices, all the money, all the condescending remarks from my sister. For this? To be told I wasn't important enough to even attend. They had used me, taken every penny I had, and then tossed me aside like I was nothing. That's when the sadness turned into cold, hard resolve. I spent the next hour on the phone. My first call was to the venue. I introduced myself as the primary financier of the wedding. I had all the receipts, all the bank statements, all the contracts I had been forced to sign. I explained that due to unforeseen circumstances, The event scheduled for that date was cancelled. The manager was hesitant at first, but once I started emailing him proof of payment, his tone changed. He confirmed the cancellation. Any non-refundable deposits were, of course, lost, but I was surprised to find out how much I could actually get back, since I was cancelling well in advance. Next, I called the caterer. Same conversation, same result. The band, the florist, the photographer. One by one, I dismantled the wedding I had single-handedly funded. With every call, a weight lifted off my shoulders. This wasn't just about the money anymore. It was about respect. About 2 hours later, my phone exploded. It was my mom, screaming so loudly I had to hold the phone away from my ear. "What did you do? The venue just called. They said the wedding is cancelled. You have to fix this." I let her finish her tirade before I spoke, my voice chillingly calm. "There is no wedding to fix. I've cancelled everything." Chloe got on the phone, sobbing hysterically. "You've ruined my wedding! You've ruined my life! How could you be so selfish?" "Selfish?" I almost laughed. "I'm selfish? You took $50,000 from me, treated me like dirt, and then disinvited me from my own sister's wedding. Who's the selfish one here, Chloe?" My dad tried a different tactic. He tried to reason with me, to appeal to my sense of family. "Son, this is a mistake. We can talk about this. We'll find a seat for you, I promise." It was too little, too late. "No," I said firmly. "There's nothing to talk about. The party's over. The bank of me is officially closed." I explained that I had gotten a significant portion of the money refunded back to my account. The non-refundable deposits were a loss, but I considered it a $50,000 lesson on who my family really was. They were furious, threatening, and pleading, all at the same time. I told them I was done and hung up. Then I blocked their numbers. In the weeks that followed, I heard through the grapevine, from an aunt who was actually on my side, that Chloe and her fiancé had a quick, small ceremony at the courthouse. There was no party, no fancy dress, no band. Her new in-laws weren't thrilled about the scandal, and apparently weren't willing to pay for a new wedding. My family has been trying to reach me through other relatives, calling me a monster for what I did. But I don't feel like a monster. I feel free. I have most of my savings back, and I've started looking at houses again. I learned a hard lesson about setting boundaries, even with family. Sometimes, the most responsible thing you can do is pull the plug. They thought I was their safety net, but they forgot that I'm the one who holds the strings. Thanks for listening to my story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.